Shalom, shalom, all praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Reading out of the book of Melchizedek, including the little book of John the Revelator, page 447. Starting at verse 9, Halak brings Enoch's Urim to Shem. And Shem said, "Do you keep the division of days?" And Halak said, "We did at first, but we lost track of the days." And Shem said, "Tomorrow is the day of forgiveness, and we are glad you are here to share the day with us." Melchizedek 12 and 10, page 447. And it came to pass that on the morrow there was a feast after the ceremony, and at the appropriate time during the meal, Halak held up his hand so the people could listen to him speak. And Shem sent his mantle out, and it was put upon his shoulders, and Halak wept in his joy, and for the much respect, the much love, the much respect shown to him. And he said, "I have brought the Urim of Enoch. I have brought the Urim of Enoch, because I feared for its safety with the presence of Chaldeu." Verse 11. And thus the Urim came on the day of forgiveness. And thus the Urim came on the day of forgiveness. And once again, Anoki said, brought cleansing on that day in his infinite loving kindness. I am loving kindness. And Shem wept to behold it when it was placed into his hands, and he said, "I always wanted to see what Enoch saw. I always wanted to see what Enoch saw in his night visions at the waters of Sinir. Now perhaps my eyes can see." Verse 12. And now upon receiving this new word concerning Shari, I decided to go before the Messiah and inquire to learn more about him, because he has always been a mysterious person. In the visions by Urim. And so I went before the Messiah alone with Urim. And I had no scribes, thinking I could just see a little, and it would be easy to remember. But to my surprise, another part of the vision was opened up to me, and I will recount it as best as I can. Seeing there are no scribe notes to keep me in clarity of thought. And the Messiah, in his wisdom, knew what I needed to know. And I was swept up with the vision. And I began to see Enoch carving the tablet we call the water tablet. And Enoch called it the tablet of Yod, or that is to say, the tablet of the right hand of loving kindness. Enoch sent the tablet of Yod to Qatar. Melchizedek chapter 12, verse 14. And I was reminded when the Messiah drew the tablet for Enoch, and he explained it that no mention of circle drawing was made, but he did speak of the purpose of the tablet, which was to bring the living water, which was to bring the living water. And in this way, contrast it with the waters of filthiness, the living waters, and contrast it with the waters of filthiness. So as soon as he published the tablet abroad, some asked if such a tablet could be used to bring about the flood prophesied by Kava, Eve. And because we did not have all of this information, and because we did not have all of this information, we have always called it the water tablet. Page 448, Melchizedek, chapter 12, verse 15. And the tablet of Yod came in the context of the Messiah charging Enoch with establishing Yod. And understanding came into my mind that Enoch did not go to Qatar to establish Yod, neither did he actually establish it firsthand in Ma'in. But upon hearing his account of his encounters with the Messiah, and upon hearing the meaning of the tablet, it was the council of Shilavah that actually established Yod in Ma'in. Verse 16. And Enoch knew that his family in Qatar would need to have Yod established among them if they were to succeed in bringing about the flood and the establishment of Shabuah. And the establishment of Shabuah. Enoch sent a copy of the tablet to Lona, the wife of his son, and he sent word to her to teach, and he only gave copies of it to his family. And he sent a copy with his little brother, Abara, so he could teach it at the pool of heaven. So he could teach it at the pool of heaven. And it came to pass that after this time, Shem, the Melchizedek, Shem had Sheri in his encampment, and Sheri grew to become a strong youth, and his parents sent him to Ma'in to live with Enoch. And Enoch taught Sheri to be a scribe, and he was the one who made the copies of all of Enoch's tablets. And I do not think any of Enoch's original tablets left his possessions. The righteous parents intent on their children's visions. Melchizedek chapter 12 verse 18, page 449. Now it was a long-standing custom among the righteous in ancient times for parents to highly esteem the vision of created purpose for their children. And the meaning of the name Sheri is one who is a remnant and will stay behind to pass on a spiritual heritage. And it was known that he would not be a remnant of Qatar, so he was sent to live with Enoch at an early age, where it was supposed that he could fulfill his vision. I pray it has been a blessing and a lesson to the reader, the hearer, the seer, the doer. We're reading out of the book of Melchizedek, chapter 12, the book of Remembrance, Malachi 3:16. A book of remembrance was written from the beginning. Page 446, 447, and 448. Shalom. All praises to the Most.